We're about to jump into problem 4.1a, but before we do, I want to remind you, you can download this problem and all of my problems from tonybell.com. Go to the website, click the PDF link, no sign in, no sign up, no login, nothing like that, just a bunch of accounting problems. And as you're working your way through, you'll notice, like 4.1a, there's lots of free content for you, and I hope it's helpful, and you're finding it really helpful. I hope you'll consider joining to get the exclusive members-only content, and there's lots of that too. All right, let's jump into the problem. Let's examine problem 4.1a, single-step income statements and multi-step income statements. I'm going to break this into two parts. So in the first part, we'll do the simpler of the two, the single-step income statement. Single step just says, you know what an income statement is? It's the summary of revenues and expenses. Single step says, list the revenues, total it. List the expenses, total it. Revenues minus expenses equals net income. It's the Platonic ideal of a simplified income statement. It's the simplest version of an income statement I can conceive of. Let's go through 4.1a. The following information relates to Salazar Company's December 31st, 2031 fiscal year end, and there's a big long list of accounts. It notes that there's a 20% tax rate, and the number of common shares outstanding is 20,000, the weighted average number of common shares. That's useful for calculating earnings per share, and I wonder if I'll have to calculate earnings per share. Let's read on. It says, prepare a single-step income statement, include earnings per share. Okay, so that's why we were given the number of shares. We need that to get earnings per share. Single step means summarize revenues and expenses. Revenues minus expenses equals net income. Without any fancy subtotals. I'll put in one subtotal that is an optional one, but I'll explain why when we get there. Let's just identify what are our revenues and expenses. So I'm going to go down this list and determine, okay, cost of goods sold, that is an expense. It doesn't have the word expense in it, but it is an expense, and it's a special expense. This video presupposes you've done an intro class and you've looked at the intro income statements. If you haven't, go back and watch my videos introducing income statements, but this is sort of building on that a little bit. Sales discounts, that is a contra revenue account. So actually, let's go find my sales revenue. Where is sales revenue? You're around here somewhere. There you are. So sales revenue is a revenue account. Anytime we have sales, I'm looking for net sales. And so if it just gives me sales revenue without net sales, I'm going to be looking for discounts, any returns or allowances. Those are contra revenue accounts. So I'll just put a little star here, and I see returns and allowances down here. This is a revenue with a star. This is a contra revenue account in that it works against my revenues. Sales minus any discounts, minus any returns is net sales. And if you look up your favorite company, look up Walmart. Walmart doesn't list sales, they list net sales. Companies will list net sales on their income statement. So we'll have to deal with that in some way in this problem. Let's continue. Admin expense, that's an expense. This question hasn't asked for a balance sheet, so we don't need to know any assets, liabilities, or equity accounts. So when it gives me cash, I know that's a red herring. That's an asset. I'm interested in revenues and expenses, so we'll ignore that. Loss related to flood damage, this is an expense. When we get to our multi-step income statement, that's an other expense. Right now, it's just an expense. Accounts payable is a liability. Retained earnings is shareholders' equity. Selling expense, that's an expense. Income tax is payable. That's a liability. Got the word payable in it. Accounts receivable is an asset. Interest expense is an expense. This would be classified as other expense. Interest revenue, that's a revenue account. This would be classified as other revenue. Just as we have other expenses, we can have other revenues. Increase in the value of the company's reputation. Well, it's nice that we have a better reputation. This is not GAAP. This is not IFRS. There's no account for this, right? The reputational increase in value that our company has enjoyed, which fair enough, that could happen, but there's no way to account for this. This doesn't belong in financial statements of any sort. So we'll scratch that one out. Gain on sale of equipment, that is a revenue. You sold some equipment at a gain, and it is, actually I shouldn't put a star there. It's other, it's not a contra revenue. Okay, so I've listed out my revenues and expenses. I'm ready. Let's go ahead and prepare Salazar Company's single step income statement. So let's start with a 3-line title. Name of our company, Salazar Company. Name of the financial statement we're being asked to prepare. An income statement goes by many other names. Statement of operations, profit and loss statement. And we'll do a comprehensive income statement or a statement of comprehensive income later in the chapter, and we'll see there's a little bit more to that one. Income statement, I'm just going to note single step. Real companies would not note single step. You would just look at it and go, that's a single step. But we'll just note it here as we're learning a new concept, perhaps. For the year ended December 31st, 2031. For the year ended, and then the date, December 31, 2031. Okay, we start with our revenues. Our revenues go in a heading here. And we have, well, let's actually deal with that sales net. Some professors will have their students show the calculation. They'll say, well, show me. And so I'll do it on the side of the page here. Some professors might want you to do this right in the income statement. I don't ask my students to do it in the income statement, but it's sales rev minus any discounts. So sales discounts minus any returns, sales returns, and allowances. So let's calculate that for us. Our sales revenue was 600,000. Our discounts were 15, and our returns and allowances were 4. So our sales rev net, 600 minus 15 minus 4, 581. Okay, so our company's net sales, 581,000. That's going to be my starting point. And again, just be careful about how that gets disclosed, because a lot of marks on income statements are just for format and layout, and there are different format choices people might make. And my choice is to start with sales rev net. So you will want to be consistent with your own textbook or your own professor there, but our sales net is 581. What other revenues do I have? Well, okay, we've dealt with the discount, we've dealt with our contra revenues. I can see interest and a gain, so we're just going to list them, right? Interest rev, which was 5, and gain on sale of equipment, we'll just call it gain on sale, 10. Okay, so 581, 591, 596. And actually, we'll list on the left, we'll total on the right. 596. And so that's our total revenues. Okay, moving over to expenses now. And when we do multiple step, there'll be some attempt to separate, well, what's an operating versus non-operating revenue? What's an operating versus non-operating expense? Here, though, no. And cost of goods sold, of course, is a special expense that would get top billing. But let's start with cost of goods sold. 221. We're just going to list all of our expenses. I will list them in kind of the order they're going to appear in my multiple steps. So COGS, then we'll do selling and admin. Selling expense 20. Admin expense 100. And then we got our other expenses, interest and the loss related to the flood. 20. Got 2 20s. And loss on flood damage. And that was 125,000. Big flood. Okay, so that's all my expenses pre-tax. Now, this is a place where I do a subtotal. I've seen it done differently in other textbooks. They'll just put their income tax right in with their expenses. They go single step, list all the expenses. The issue is I don't know what my taxes are. I have to calculate it based on this tax rate. So I find I like to calculate the pre-tax profit, then do 20% taxes, and then solve. You could do this all in one row, but I'm going to do it this way. So 221 plus 20 plus 100 plus 20 plus 125, 486. My old computer was a 486. That's my total expenses. And that brings us down to our pre-tax profit, our income before taxes. $596 minus 486 is 110. Do that math in my head. Okay, so then what are my taxes? Well, my taxes are 20% of that, 22 grand. Oops, not times 20, times not 0.02, 0.2, $22,000. I did it in my head. It was harder for me to do in the calculator. That's going to be my income tax expense. And remember, that's just 20% of our income before taxes. Okay, that brings us down to our net income, our post or after tax income. Our profit, 110 minus 22, that's $88,000. Dollar sign at the top of both columns. So we've got two columns here and dollar sign beside anything with a double underline. And we've got a nice income statement, but we haven't yet computed earnings per share. So earnings per share is net income minus preferred dividends. I'm just going to say pref divs. My minus is kind of off kilter there. Divided by the weighted average number of common shares outstanding. I know that's kind of a mouthful. This weighted average number of common shares outstanding is like super easy in chapter 1 or chapter 4 here. It gets harder later in the course, but for now it's going to be given number. It's just 20,000. So net income is 88,000. Preferred dividends. Did I see anything about preferred shares? No. Did I see anything about preferred dividends? No. So preferred dividends is 0. So it's going to be 88,000 minus 0 divided by weighted average number of common shares outstanding, 20,000. So 88,000 divided by 20,000. 88,000, our net income minus preferred dividend 0 divided by 20,000 shares means my earnings per share was $4.40 per share. So that goes down at the bottom of the income statement. Earnings per share equals $4.40. Okay, we've done part A, the simplest form of an income statement that exists. List your revenues, list your expenses. I split out income before tax. You don't have to. You could literally just put income tax expense, 22,000, put it on that list, total expenses and net income. That is appropriate. Again, follow along with how your professor does it, but that's the way I do it. All right. Thanks so much for watching part A. In part B, we'll do the more complicated, but more useful, in my opinion, multi-step or multiple-step income statement. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Stay tuned. Bye for now. The next video in our series is right up here, and if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.